Welcome to another episode of Trending with Miss Trey. I have a wonderful woman that is a serial entrepreneur. She's an author, boutique owner, 25 years as a hairstylist. I'm going to go ahead and chime her in so y'all can get to know her. Hello, Peta.
Hello. How are you? I am
How
so
are you?
sorry.
Welcome to Trending with Miss Trey.
Thank you. I am you said the right word, serial entrepreneur. So I am literally in the midst of doing two things at once, and I'm like, I apologize. I'm like, I wanted to be ready, but I hit traffic, and I'm like, oh my goodness. However, I'm here, and I'm happy to be here.
No, it's totally fine. Thank you, and welcome to Training with Miss Trey. I want to just invite you into my space and get to know you a little bit better and know what you have going on because I read everything about you and I'm like, she is amazing. But before we get started, I
Yes.
know you were island gal.
Oh yes, straight from Jamaica. I see Bob Marley back there, so of course that's the first thing I saw. So I'm like, yes, okay. I like this. I like this vibe right here.
What part of Jamaica are you from?
Well, I was born in Kingston, but I was raised in Spanish Town, St. Catherine,
Okay.
and I just love my culture. I love the islands. I truly have it's home. It just feels good. I'm just loving the whole, being authentic, being a Jamaican woman. I am super proud. I love my country.
That is wonderful. I love it too. I'm an American woman, but I love the Caribbean culture. As you can tell, I love Bob Marley, so like I'm with you.
Yes,
so
yes.
I so tell us a little bit about yourself and how born and raised in Jamaica and converting over to the America. How was that transition, and what made you want to do that?
So, I get this question all the time, but and in my book I came here when I was 12. So I really didn't have a choice in the matter.
Okay.
I basically at the same time you always dream of America because that is where, with us having one TV, you only had one channel, so that's all you were able to know. It was like Michael Jackson, you was able to know Cyndi Lauper. You only knew the states. So you dreamed and wished about the states. It wasn't like on TV you saw anything else, right? So
Right.
being that I'm growing up with this one channel watching only this, what's going on in the US typically or the Europe, you wanted to have this abroad experience. You wanted to have this American dream life. So coming to America, that was just the goal, and that's the thing that I now learned that all they told us was to do was to go to school, read and study and become a lawyer, doctor, or a teacher. And that was just the mentality that I grew up with, that I would not be successful if I didn't have one of these careers. And now that, 30 something years, learning that that's not really the case, right? Because now I'm raising two children and I'm teaching them the entrepreneurship life. Of course, yes, going to school and getting an education and doing college, yes, but to have a mind of running your own business and being a boss of your own business, that's really ideal lifestyle that you should want to create for yourself. So
I agree completely because, like you say, we always grew up in the era of go to school, go to college, be a a doctor, a lawyer, and things of that sort. But in this realm
mhm.
that we're living in, and also in this pandemic, it's like you got to be your own boss and navigate through the changes. And not no shade to anybody that's a lawyer or a doctor, but it's just
No.
there's other avenues to make money and to drill into someone that you have to go to college and that's the only way you're going to be successful. I'm glad the narrative is now changing that you can go
Yes.
to school as well as being successful as well as having your own business and being an entrepreneur.
Definitely. I said it's nothing wrong with like you said because I want my kids to become well, my daughter, she's going to school to study medicine. And you study medicine, but you also want to have your own practice. You want to also have the skill set of running and knowing the ins and outs of your business. So that's why I said no shade to any of those careers, but it's also what else can I do? It's not just working for someone, it's being the boss of your own business. Or not everyone is supposed to be a boss, but also be teachable and be happy in wherever you are. So I'm
Correct.
not downplaying either or careers, but at the same time, it's just a mindset, like I said, that that I didn't have. I had a mindset of just being a worker. So I think that's the difference in just being a worker, or to be a worker to also have multiple streams of income, or being a worker to also teach and give back. So that's where I have come to now appreciate what I have, learned along my journey, is that, what, I have a lot of skill sets, and now I have more to offer than just being a worker.
Correct. So, being 25 years in the beauty industry and being a health educator as well as a hairstylist, how was that experience? And what is your favorite part? What was your favorite part of being in the health industry? I mean, well, excuse me, in the beauty industry.
Um, I would say the most interesting part is the different women, the diverse women that I have met. Because one of the things too, that, being from the islands and growing up in a strict household, you're taught to be seen and not heard. So I grew up very shy, and I grew up very, like, in Jamaican terms, since you're very cultural, we grew up dark. So when you grow up
Hmm.
dark, you kind of like tend to dim your light. You tend to like just be, once again, just show up, work, and that was it. So I never really knew my voice. And then being behind the chair, that has actually brought out a voice in me, that also made me understand my potential, because I also felt that I didn't fit in. I didn't fit in with the other women that were, sorority women, or the other woman that had a title or had a career. And because of that, I tend to was, to dim my light once again. But being behind the chair and starting to realize how much these women valued me and valued my opinions and some choices that I've made, they were looking up to me. And then they start to reveal, for one, they weren't happy in their careers, and two, I then start to realize that I actually made more money than they did. So that was kind of like the point in my life, where the pivotal moment, as I would say, where I realized that, once again, my value is not being comparison, but is having the woman empowerment, having the
Hmm.
woman that was able to lift me up when I felt low. And so that was, to me, the highlight of becoming a hairstylist, along with my craft. So it just all was curtailed together, and it just made going to work even more enjoyable, because it was like, okay, what am I going to learn about myself today, and what am I going to create and make another woman feel good about herself.
And I love that. That's one thing I can say about hairstylists that they don't get enough credit. Is there naturally our therapists in a way without knowing
Hmm.
it, as well as
Definitely.
bringing out that inner beauty in us because we could be having a dark day for whatever reason or having something going on in our life for whatever reason. We go get our hair done and it's like a spark lifts out of us, and it's all because of our hairstylist. So we have to kudos to hairstylists all around the world because they don't they may or may not know that they play a huge role in making us have large confidence.
Definitely. It's so funny because right now that I have retired, and I want to even correct this, it's 30 years now that I've been in the industry, because I went
Wow.
straight from high school straight into the career, and now I finally retired from behind the chair. And some women they are not going anywhere. They're like, this is just more than just getting my hair done. It's they don't care what it costs at this point. It's about how I made them feel, how I have literally
Right.
transformed them, because at the same time they're going into their corporate jobs, where it's once again work, 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 and coming into the salon now, it's like you said, it's their downtime, it's therapy, it's where they can actually feel comfortable with themselves. And um and so it's now I'm starting to more so realize my value behind the chair. And 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 the women are willing, like you said, they're willing to pay for those services. They're willing
Hmm.
to come in the salon on a weekly basis, just so that they can feel good about themselves, just so that they can have some type of self-care right now. So I'm really loving the transition and the haha moments and how we are evolving as women. I'm really, when I tell you that it's the biggest thing for me right now is just to see the smiles on their faces, just to get the compliments and hear how they're getting compliments. I totally love it. At this point in my life, this is why I said this is what God had for me, the whole journey. This is where He wanted me to be.
That's truly amazing. So let's tap into this book. This book is tapping on a little bit of everything. Um, Journey, my life behind the chair. Like, what inspired you to write the book? What was like your pivotal moment to say, you know what? I have a story. I'm gonna write the book. And what was that process like? Because I know it was a long
Oh, girl, it's just like,
process.
how when I've done so many things in my life, right? And once again, I told you, I didn't really have the college or the schooling to go behind me. And and I told you, I always felt downplayed. And I was like, I
Mhm.
have so much more in me because when even behind the chair, I used to write magazine articles, right? For hairstyles and different
Ooh.
things for magazine for Hype Hair. And so I was like, a lot of women don't realize, and one of the things that I think too is stereotyping. They look at you as a hairstylist, and that's it. And I just knew that I had so much more in me. I did never wanted to be just in the box because that's not the kind of woman I am. I'm an outside the box kind of girl. So I was just like, one day I'm going to really let people see who I really am and let them really understand my story because, like I said, I was going through so much, going through the deportation, going through, a stressful marriage, going through raising two children, going through failed, business partnerships. So I was just like, one day I'm going to just put it all out on a piece of paper. And then here comes the pandemic. And it was just the right opportunity. And I just said, this is it. I just felt, once again, being spiritual. I said, God, you don't make no mistakes. And this is when I could finally sit down and be quiet. And this is the book that I've been, because I always kept writing notes and journaling. This is the book that's inside of me. And I just was like, I'm going to go for it. And now this book has been done so much for me personally, as far as letting me learn about myself. And then having, like I said, other women reaching out to me and telling me, oh my God, you're so brave, you're so strong, I wish I could have done that. So like I said, now I'm looking to do other things. And that's just where this book has brought me, like I said, the journey.
That is truly amazing. I know the book has been all over. You can get it all over. What is your takeaway from writing the book? Of course, obviously to let women in and know your journey and know that you can overcome many obstacles in life. But what is your takeaway that you said when it made you say like, you know what, this is gonna be for everyday women?
It's just about perseverance and being consistent. So in the book, I consistently talked about how God showed up in my life consistently and how from day one the seed has been planted. So in the journey, I just talked about, from being raised in a Catholic home, going to a Catholic school and being saved at an early age, and just how God has just been playing a role in my life at every step, even in my failures. He's been showing up, and how I just had to trust him. And so in the book, I basically was just saying to the other women that, you just have to trust the process. It might not look like what you want it to look like, but you got to trust the process. And that's where I feel like sometimes a lot of women give up because of, may not be a failed marriage, may it be a career that you didn't have, or maybe a friendship, whatever it is. But you just have to trust the process and just be who you are supposed to be. Don't try to be anyone else, but be who God wants you to be. And that's just the key. Like, I've
That's
never
it.
changed anything about myself. This is the same woman that I've always been all my life. I go into work and I'm not afraid to play gospel music. I let everybody know that I serve God first. I don't I have Jehovah Witnesses that come in there. I have other clients, but I let them know this is who I serve, and this is what I'm going to do at the top of the morning every day, is give him the praise. And at the same time, I dress every single day to work, and I showed up business attire, or those a hair salon. I show up representing myself. So now my brand is, a boutique now. So like other women are shopping with me because they basically realize, you know what? Throughout her whole 30 years of career, she has been the same consistent woman. So my business is able to grow because I've been that same woman for the 30 years and gave them the same energy throughout, despite of whatever I was going through in my life.
I love that. And that word perseverance is huge because, like you say, we may hit a roadblock or, something doesn't go as we planned, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not our plan, it's God's plan. So I love that you
Yes.
you said that. That is absolutely accurate. So like I described you, serial entrepreneur. So we have you being a hairstylist for over 30 years. Then
Mm-hmm.
now you have your book that is doing
Yes.
amazing
Mm-hmm.
and you have a boutique. Like, where do you find time to do all this?
So it's so crazy because, and I just now open an event space. So that is my when I stop doing here now, which is today actually makes 1 month that I officially retired from behind the chair. So I now have an event space. So now I open that space up now to do events. And during the pandemic, I was doing some real estate investment. Every day I have a different agenda. So now today, that's why I'm running coming back because today is my shopping day. I go in and I shop, and then tomorrow will be my schedule to upload new inventory. So I do my marketing. Thursday I take care of my salon business, and then on the weekends is my event. So it's I just basically live on a schedule right now, and that's just what a serial entrepreneur is. It's about scheduling and it's
Right.
about strategies, right? So I've learned that, I'm learning that more and more. But becoming a hairstylist where you have to be on a schedule, for one, you have to know how customer service work, you have to know how to communicate with other women. So I have learned all these tools and trades behind the chair, and now I'm able to implement them into my other businesses.
That's
So
amazing.
that's
And
just
what
how
is
it
your
works.
boutique's name?
It's Shop Quintessential. So my whole brand is called
Okay.
Quintessential Lifestyle. So when I came up with the brand,
Okay.
I was like, I want it to be a lifestyle. So now we have a Shop Quintessential, and now I have a cute space for the events,
Okay.
and that's all under the brand, the umbrella.
And you're located in New York, correct?
Yes, I'm in Long Island, Nassau County,
Okay.
Long Island. Yes.
Okay. Yes, I love that. So, like I said, you're an amazing woman. You have a lot going on, with a lot of great things going on, not just a lot going on. A lot of great things going on. I want to tap into, how do you find the balance? Because I know as women, we kind of struggle with finding a balance between like all your businesses and actually just having work balance, life balance. How do you find a balance with everything that you're doing?
Um, like I said, I basically give myself a schedule, and not even that, only that I have assistants, so I'm not going to take all the credit. What I
Oh, okay.
can't handle, what I can't do, I have assistants. So I have someone that works on my back end on my website. I schedule my photo shoots first thing in the morning, and by the midday, I have someone else helping me with my marketing. And then in the salon, I have my assistant that basically she does all the my inventory. Then I have someone that orders. So I don't do everything. I know how to relinquish some power and give it, and I have someone to assist me. And sometimes, you know what, I do bartering. It's just that simple. If I can't do something and someone else can do it, and I know that I have a service, I have a boutique, I barter also. um so I just schedule, like I said, I get up in the morning and I know what my to-dos is, and I take it one step at a time. Like today, I knew I was running late, and I said, okay, I'm gonna pull over, and I'm gonna handle this. And when I get back now to my next, after this, I'm gonna be heading back to Long Island to get to my other property because I need to close on that. So I'm getting that ready, and and it's literally just I take it 1 hour at a time and just tackle
Good.
each project. And what I can't get done today, it will be done tomorrow.
And I love that because I know that's also another struggle that us women have as well is learning to delegate, learning to be okay with having a team and relying on others to get things done. So I
Yes.
salute you for that. I commend you for that. Before we wrap it up, what would be one thing that you would tell your younger self that you learned as your journey has gone on?
Hmm. That's a question that I ask myself all the time, because every single time I hear that question, I think I come up with a different answer, because it's like I'm always learning something else about myself. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I never feel that I know it all, and it's always a aha moment for me. And what would I tell my younger self? I would probably tell her to probably be not be afraid, be bolder. I felt
Mm.
that there were many times that I dimmed my light, many times that I dumbed myself dumb because I didn't want, for one, you get criticized because, oh, she's too bougie, or, I have certain standards about myself, and I found myself sometimes not really living up to the standards because I didn't want to stand out. I kind of wanted, blend in. But now I'm telling my older self that, you know what, it's okay to stand out, it's okay to shine, and it's okay to be alone. And you're not gonna please everyone. So right now I'm developing more and more some thick skin, because on this journey, when you're going up a ladder, you have to take one step at a time by yourself, 1 foot at a time. It's no two people on a ladder, it's one at a time. So I'm learning to about myself now is to just be stronger each and every day, and just take your one step, and don't look back, just look ahead. So that is what I would just, to encourage any other young woman, and to tell myself, like, I just wish I was a little bit stronger, because every journey I felt like I needed a partner, I needed a support, because I didn't want to do it but alone. I was afraid of failure alone. And guess what? It didn't work out. I still end up being alone anyway.
Oh, that's huge. Okay, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. I appreciate you coming on Trending with Miss Trey, but before we wrap it up, can you let everyone know where to get your book and where to find you, and also where to shop because we have to be fly.
Exactly. So that my hashtag is cute gals, right? So if your hashtag, you're the QUTE gals, you will find me right there. And then my name is just like Peta-Gaye McCalla. If you Google that, if you put that in Amazon, or you put it on any search engine, it will pop right up. So we are at Quintessential Lifestyles, which is the brand. And then, Peta-Gaye McCalla, the book is on Amazon, like I said, and it's on our website. It's on my Shopify. And I like I said, I do business as business, and that's just the kind of girl I am. Anything you need to know is with a click on a button, and I'm there.
That is wonderful. Is there anything that we should be looking forward to coming soon from you?
I really want to do this women's conference called the More in Me. So that is my project now that I'm working on. Now that I have the space,
Okay.
right? I better use the space. So I
Right.
really want to so I want to get women together to just find the more in them, and that's just where I feel God really wants me to do, is to, a lot of times women are like, you're so brave to, one, I quit a career that I said 30 years, that literally I knew what I made faithfully every week, which was great money. And I took a step of faith and just said, you know what, God, I know you have more for me, because there's more in me. And a lot of women are like, you did what? Like, I literally get phone calls every day about this. You gave that up, but I gave it up for a bigger purpose right now, and that's just the more in me. And I want to do a conference on that and build that out.
That is amazing. I want to thank you so much for coming on Trending with Miss Trey. Feel free to come back if you have any exclusives or anything that you want to release and drop. And you have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.
No problem. I hope this was a great interview. I hope that I showed up and did what I was
Of
supposed to do.
course. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Trending with Trey. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.